Get in here.
I'm trying. I just had to. I can't hear myself. I can't hear anything. I hear nothing. I hear nothing.
Okay, don't panic. We don't.
Is this plugged in?
We don't ever want to panic. Yeah, I think you're just not loud enough. Hold on.
I'm not even on. No,
You're not?
see, look, I'm not registering one bit over there.
Okay, I'm gonna switch you.
This is weird. Oh wait, it's my microphone, not my.
Oh.
You think it's my microphone? Look, I'm not registering at all.
Let's see. You should be mic 3, but you're not. Let's see if you're plugged in.
Wait, that's mic 3.
Oh, somebody switched
Somebody
it.
switched it.
These slacker DJs.
There, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you got it.
What is wrong with this place?
Boy, somebody's gonna catch some.
Hold on, folks.
Can I say hell?
Yeah, that's a place.
Okay, they're gonna catch some hell.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do something. Hang on a second.
They're gonna catch some Hades from us because we're tough and rough.
How's that? Whoa, I'm loud. I can't hear myself in my ears, but I see them registering.
You're still having trouble with headphones.
We suck.
Don't worry. It's not us. It's when you walk into a studio and you can't make any adjustments until you're on the air. There's no way to do it.
I can't hear anything at all, though.
All right.
So something's wrong with this part, too,
right.
still. Okay. Nope, can't hear a thing. Nothing. This is the cord to my ears, but there's something I can't. Oh, it's here now. Kristina, you're
Hi.
a genius.
Now you're here.
Now I'm alive.
I love having you here.
Okay.
Completely 100% present.
What was that? About 5 minutes of fumbling?
Of hoo-ha?
Is that... You can't say that.
Yes,
We're
I
on
can.
radio.
Half of the people in the world think it's just a funny, happy word, and it's not. Has nothing to do with...
The other half, no. They know.
That's your half. My half is happy-go-lucky.
All right, now I gotta get my chair into the
All right,
proper
let's
position here.
settle in and get all adjusted.
Oh my gosh, you know what? It's hot in here today. I never usually say that, but it is kind of hot in here.
You know what I noticed?
Ow.
We have to... This is a really good opportunity for us. You're not paying attention. Hello, look
sorry.
at me.
Okay.
Don't look out the window.
I was
Look
just
at
looking.
me.
I was trying to look at your orange truck.
It's not my orange truck.
Okay.
It's Max's.
Ooh.
Well, it stumped me because it starts with a push button. You don't use a key, and that's just wrong.
Everything to do with ex-husbands is wrong. So that's why. If you're going to drive your ex-husband's truck, it's going to be wrong somehow.
Yeah, well, first of all,
I didn't put my Fitbit on yet today. I feel really naked. I have to put it on right now.
Nobody should have a truck that's that fancy. And orange is the wrong color. It doesn't go
Yeah.
with anything.
Well, no.
I mean,
except for like
at Halloween.
oranges. Florida.
Would you not put that Fitbit on? Could you stop? You know how
I
much I
feel
hate
like I'm
those.
wasting my life without it on. Although
not-
I guess I'm just sitting here, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to sit here tied to this microphone
Yeah,
for
you're
an hour.
you're not going to
So,
clock.
all right, screw the Fitbit. I'm going to put it back in my purse just for you. It's just blinking away like a dead blind eye in there. It wants to be on my wrist.
See, it's funny to me because you have a very, very healthy lifestyle and you are very physically active. And why in the world you'd feel you'd have to wear a Fitbit is beyond
It's just
me.
interesting. It's kind of cool to see.
Like scientifically,
Yeah, it's like an experiment with
Statistically.
myself.
you like statistics.
Kind of. And it gives you a little chart and graphs every single night of what you've done that day.
Is it like
where your heart has been, like how many steps, how much, what range of motion, and
So it's kind of like
just
having
interesting.
it's like having a coloring book, sort of.
I guess tells you how well you slept. I find that really interesting. How many hours of restful sleep you got, and how many hours of restless sleep you got.
I don't want to know. I just don't care. I have to put
No,
that.
I just wonder when I wake up if what I feel matches what it's
what
gonna
actually
say.
happened.
Yeah.
What if it doesn't? Then who do you
It's usually
believe?
matched
Do you,
so
do you
far.
believe you or do you believe the Fitbit?
You would like it if you got one.
I would not.
Yes, you would. And
I
it's
don't want it.
and it's a watch too.
It tells time.
Yeah.
Does it have hands?
And I've never once in my life, no, it's digital, but
Does
I've
it-
never had a watch ever in my life. I've never liked to have anything on my wrist. And now I wear it. And now I can just turn my wrist over and look at what time it is. It's so weird.
Does it go tick?
No.
And it's not a watch.
It vibrates and gives you like little cheers and stuff when you go past certain.
It's a device, and now it's like a phone or a computer. It's not like a clock.
But look, watch.
It's a piece of plastic.
See? It's 11:07. Isn't that amazing?
No.
This little thing can tell you in little green letters what time it is. I just am baffled. How does it know? How does it know, Kristina?
I don't know where you're going with this. I don't know how
Look,
to
I've done 1,681 steps today, even though I've been carrying it around in my purse.
I just feel like we're so far apart. Like I'm on Mars and you're on Venus.
No, that's men are on Mars and women
Well,
are
I
on
don't
Venus.
care. Let's
You
go.
don't want to be on Mars
I want to be
with
gender.
all the men.
I want to be gender neutral. So you
I don't think there's a planet that's that way. Maybe Saturn?
We've started off on the wrong foot with astrology, but if you want to resurrect what's happening, listen to these
Okay.
incredible
Ow.
quotes. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just was trying to prop my elbows up on the chair and they fell off and kind of just didn't really hit my funny bone, but just gave it a little nudge just to remind me that that funny bone is there, you know? Are you going to read your horoscope?
Yeah.
This is my fault, isn't it? I mentioned Saturn.
Yep.
Okay.
You started talking about planets.
No, you did. You said you were from Mars.
Yeah, but you started spreading misinformation about planets. So I had to back you up.
Oh, misinformation.
And I had to tell you that
Okay.
that planets are gender free, and don't try to impose
Okay.
your cultural
I
negativity.
think the reason that they say men are from Mars is because the planet of Mars, you told me this, governs war.
Yeah, no, that's stereotyping.
That seems a little more testosterone based, though. You know?
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. I guess you've stumped me there.
All right, read me.
Okay, so Sagittarius today. This is Rob Berejny's astrology reading for me today. He wants me to take Mark Twain's advice, and there are five Mark Twain quotes that they're bits of wisdom that evidently are going to be super important to me this week, and I think we could extrapolate and say they're going to be very important for everybody, because wait till you hear them. They're just awesome. Here's the first one. First one is, you cannot depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Okay, let that sink in for a second. You can, and we can review later.
All right.
So if you can't remember it or figure it out right now, we'll go back later. You can call me.
'Kay.
Or you can text me.
Yeah,
And we'll go over
that'll
it.
be better.
Okay, number 2. Education consists mainly of what we have unlearned. Okay. Number 3. It is curious that physical courage should be so common in the world and moral courage so rare. That's a good one. That's
that
easy
is
to
a good
grasp.
one. Yep.
4. When in doubt, tell the truth.
Duh.
I like that. Yeah, you and I think we err on the side of telling, just blurting things out. And 5, here's the last one. Thunder is good. Thunder is impressive, but it is lightning that does the work.
I don't like lightning, Kristina. I'm terrified of lightning.
Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have brought it up.
It's okay.
What do you want to talk about? Valentine's? Hearts, flowers? What do you want to talk about?
I prefer puppies over those things, but...
Okay, what's on your list?
My list is abysmally short.
Well, what's on the top of the list?
I have no fingernail. Look, it came off.
Why did it come off?
See, I used to be a nail biter my entire life. And since I was 2 years old, and my parents did everything to try to stop me, and I, as an adult, tried to stop myself. I tried hypnosis. I tried everything. I tried painting it with nasty tasting stuff, and I bit and bit and bit my nails until they were like little horrible painful stubs. It was kind of my one anxiety, this habit I had. And then when I got pregnant with my first son, I just stopped cold turkey. Didn't do it anymore because I was so terrified that I was going to ingest some sort of germ or something that was going to hurt the baby. And so I've not bit my nails for over 13 years.
So whereas some people stopped drinking, you stopped biting your nails during pregnancy. Okay, just
oddly enough, I guess the trigger was always either watching a movie or reading a book sometime when your mind was someplace else and you didn't really know what you're doing. And I found myself reading a book earlier in the week, and I had one finger in my mouth the whole time. And my fingernail softened up so much that when I just gave it a little bite, I don't know if they're weak now, my fingernail peeled off.
Wow.
And I don't really have the urge to be biting my nails, but it just kind of weirdly, as a residual memory habit, I just peeled it off. I just can't believe that I did that. And now I have literally no fingernail. I wonder if from all the biting, if I'd toughened them up or something.
Does it hurt?
It wicked hurts.
I bet. Why don't you wrap something around it?
I may have to.
Yeah, because you want to protect it from...
So I need it to grow back now.
The world is a dangerous place.
My God, I can't believe that I just somehow managed to rip a fingernail off.
Yeah, you don't want to go around with an exposed fingernail like that.
Okay.
I feel like
weird. It's just weird. Why after 13 years would my brain suddenly just rip a fingernail off?
I feel like I have to protect you somehow.
It's okay. It's
a cruel,
stumped by that.
Cruel, cold world.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But I will protect you.
Thanks, Kristina.
Right now.
I did go at work at my museum, they have a first aid kit in the closet. And I'd kind of seen it out of the corner of my eye a few times when I was in there getting light bulbs or doing something. And I said, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to go get a Band-Aid out of the first aid kit and cover up my finger because it's really ugly and I don't want to be, gesturing to things in the museum and having people be like, ew, look at that woman's finger.
Of course.
So I went to the first aid kit and I guess, I think it's been there since the museum opened in the 80s or maybe even earlier because it was very, very vintage and the Band-Aids didn't really stick anymore. And they all had all the products in there in the first aid kit.
Yeah.
Had that font from a long time ago.
Oh, it's like the 50s or the 60s?
Very orangey. Yeah. So I think that first aid kit has been there for a while. And the Band-Aid had no sticky left to it.
You know what it is?
So
I bet the first aid kit's part of the historical display.
Oh, great. And I just used an antique Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I kind of used my own skin moisture just to stick it to me anyway, even though it wasn't really sticky anymore. But
yeah.
Got to do what you got to do sometimes.
You've got to do that. You've got to do the things.
Oh, but the sad thing, that same day, the same fingernail day, a little baby bird just died in my hands, and that was much more horrible than the finger.
No, that's a great place for a baby bird to die. In your hand, that's a beautiful place.
I shouldn't have picked it up, but I had to because...
I think it was going to die, so why not?
No, it was going to die. It just happened to die in my hands, and I had tried to save it.
I love that. I love that because a lot of times when I have dead mice in my hand, they don't even know that I'm doing it because they're dead. It's really...
I don't think
that's sad. You want to talk about what's sad? That is...
caring. Aw.
Okay. Headline of the week.
What?
Quote, meet the man behind the giant inflatable chicken mocking President Trump.
I saw that chicken.
I thought,
awesome.
I thought it was probably my friend Ryan Clayton, but no.
Does whoever made that have a company where he makes inflatable things? Or did he somehow custom order the inflatable thing?
It must have, because it had Trump's hair.
Right, but how do you do that?
How do you custom order a huge inflatable chicken?
Like, who makes the custom hair for your blow-up?
No, it's not just the custom hair, because the whole thing was created with a very unique design. But I think if you have enough money, you can get anything. That's what I hear.
I guess. You can.
So it's all a matter of just being able to have money to spend.
Wow.
Which you wouldn't know anything about.
I wouldn't know a thing about.
No. But don't let it worry you. You'll never have any, so you won't have to worry about that.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, and you won't have the option to try to get a custom designed inflatable anything. Nothing. I mean, I don't think you get anything that was large and inflatable.
No.
With your amount of income.
You can have those Mylar balloons personalized with your name on them at the party store.
Sure. Yeah,
those are kind of reasonably priced.
That's a close second. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what you're probably going to have to do.
Okay.
And you can stop at Donkey and get a donut on the way. Because I was thinking of the store Rubber Bubbles up in Barrymont.
Yeah.
And there's a Dunkin' Donuts. There's a new one up there on the way. So you could get the Dunkin' Donuts and then you could go to the party store.
Okay. I do like Rubber Bubbles. I've gone there before. I had to go there to get my kid a little bullfighter hat once.
Yeah, we used to go there at Halloween.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is annoying because he already had a bullfighter hat and he said he couldn't find it and it was lost.
Now you have two.
And so I searched everywhere for it and I couldn't find it. So we had to go get him a second bullfighter hat. And then we looked again and it was right where we'd been looking all along. I don't know.
But you have two boys, so you could have two bullfighters.
Yeah, they're kind of past the bullfighting stage now, which is good because I don't believe in bullfighting. But, it's just a hat, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like a reverse mouse hat. What's with those bullfighter hats? The things that things that stick off the side?
Well, it's supposed to kind of simulate horns.
Oh, right. Oh, it does kind of, I guess.
I just made that up.
No, I think you might be onto something there.
Yeah. I mean, when you make stuff up, it's at least 50% going to be right.
That's true, Kristina.
I think it's
That makes me feel so much better about our show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We didn't introduce our show, though, speaking of our show.
No.
You guys have tuned in to 11th Hour Radio, coming to you live from Royalton Community Radio. And we also will come to you not live if you're tuning into our podcasts or it's still live when they stream it online, right? Streaming means live, right?
No.
Yes, it does.
It does not.
Because the word live is always in front of it. Live streaming.
No.
Do you say that?
Yeah, but that's when it's actually happening and when you're watching it.
Oh, so you can stream anything.
Yeah.
Not just
you
live
can stream
things.
a song that I recorded 20 years ago.
Okay. So forget I said that. I don't know. I don't know what stream means actually, people, but
she lives in the woods.
I do.
She doesn't know much about
and the internet is
modern
super wonky
world.
lately.
I think okay. You can generalize like that it's the internet's fault.
Oh, my computer's also wonky. I had a guy tour the museum yesterday who was a Mac guy, and I started just grilling him on what is wrong with my computer because the screen just goes black almost everywhere except unless you tilt it in just a certain way and it comes on for a second. But it's almost all the way shut when you can actually see it. So I have to look at my computer like this.
Did he help you?
He said that some sort of little ribbon connection between my monitor and my keyboard is going.
And did you fall in love with him?
No. He
Why
stayed
not?
for 2 hours because he was a historian and he was writing a book. And he was not creepy and he didn't give me bad vibes, but he just stayed for 2 hours until I got really sick of doing the tour for 2 hours. He photographed every inch of everything in the museum because he's doing a book about Victorian stuff. He's actually doing a book about some Victorian guy who trained bears and had a team of bison that he drove around. So I don't really know what that had to do with my museum at all, except for it was set in Victorian times. So he was very critical about the hinges in my museum. He said they were overkill. They were too big for the doors. You didn't need to have hinges that big.
Wow.
But
that must have been.
What does he know anyway?
That must have been embarrassing when he said that.
Kinda.
you know.
I was trying to make excuses for the Victorian family that put overly large hinges on their closets. I mean, I've never noticed they're overly large. They don't bother me at all, but I guess he was really fixated on that. He remarked in every single room.
If somebody got on my case about my hinges, you know what I'd do to them?
You punch him in the face.
You bet. But speaking of which, you know, this studio, this station needs a little grease on the doors hinges. It's because I realized today, like, we put up with that for 4 years. We put up with that sound. Or maybe not 4 years, 2 years, whatever, how long we've been in this building. But all it takes is a little of that spray.
I almost think we've been in this building longer than the last building now. Do you think we have?
Possibly. Maybe it was a year and a half over there.
I think our 4-year anniversary stint on this radio came and went and we didn't notice.
We'll have to go look.
I think so.
With a, you know, something stable like a calendar.
Right.
Calendars are generally fairly stable.
They kind of are.
As opposed to our minds. But the reason I brought up Greece was so that I could talk about one of our sponsors, the Tunbridge Grease Collective.
You're so tricky and sneaky and good at segueing.
I know. Well, I thought it was silly to have a sponsor that we didn't really understand. And now I looked up on Wikipedia and I found a statistic from back in the year 2000 which indicates that at that time there were at least 11 billion liters of waste vegetable oil annually. And that comes mainly from restaurants, snack food factories, and deep fryers in potato processing plants.
But we don't really have a lot of those things right here.
We have restaurants.
I guess, but not many. Where does he get all his grease?
Well, he's the only one doing it. Well, there's another guy in Plainfield that does it. The Black-Beard biodiesel guy.
Oh, right.
He's up in Plainfield, and that's where Ariel parks her food truck.
Cool.
Is right there.
Does she give her grease to that guy?
I bet she does, because he's right there collecting grease, and she's there making it, possibly. She fries eggs. She makes breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but did you know that Todd has a title as the head of the Tunbridge Grease Collective? No, he's the
Grease Monkey?
No, he's the CGO. He's the Chief Grease Officer.
He's the only grease officer, isn't he? Are there more?
I don't know. It says collective, but maybe that's not a group of people.
Maybe that means collecting.
Yeah, it's like the Tunbridge.
Maybe it's just so many puns that we can't even understand.
Yeah, because Todd's smart that way.
He's really smart.
So he would think of something clever.
He made this radio station, kind of.
That was clever.
Well, it's very clever.
That's beyond clever.
Super popular.
I hate to call him a genius, but there you have it.
Let's just do it.
Okay.
We've crossed that line.
If you're listening, we think you're a genius.
So. And he has cool hair.
He does?
I think Todd's hair
looks like.
It's curly.
Is it? It's funny. The people I know the best, I can't remember what they look like. Like, if somebody asked me what color your hair was, I'd know that it was vaguely not brown. Like, it's not brown. Or they asked me what your eye color was. I don't know. I might not know.
Okay.
But now I'll say it on the air. Your eyes are blue.
They are.
So that might help me remember. Anyway, okay, so that was my little plug for our sponsor.
But we have more. We have more sponsors. We have Mountain Folk.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
That's also Todd's thing.
Who is this Todd guy?
He's too nice to us.
Who's Todd? People don't know who Todd is. We're talking about Todd like everybody knows who Todd is. Nobody knows Todd.
Todd Tyson. Not of Tyson Chicken.
Right. Well,
that's a bad Tyson.
He's a super DJ.
Yep.
He's one of Vermont's top DJs.
Yeah. We also have Howevale Farms.
Mm-hmm. Unrelated to Emily.
Well, related distantly, but not. We can say unrelated.
No, let's say related.
A lot of us Howe people.
All right. Well, my list, there's some kind of boring things. So you have a choice between a few different boring things. I'll give you some options. We can talk about my car. We can talk about banjos. We can talk about driveways or yoga photos.
Let's talk about all those things, because I was going to ask you about your car anyway. So how is it that you've come to be driving your ex-husband's car?
Because my car is in the shop, and I took it over to Route 66 in Randolph.
Yes.
And So Julian and Lori have been looking for a new transmission, a new used transmission.
It needs a whole new transmission for real.
Yeah, but you know, when you have a beater, you're not going to buy a new transmission. You're going to get you're going to try to find the perfect used transmission. Mm-hmm. The train's coming.
I hear it.
What is all this noise today? It's like
I feel like there's some construction or something going on down here, or they're like redoing the driveway. I hear constant humming of some motor.
And it's not a chipper, you know?
No.
I thought maybe it was a chipper.
But it's louder than some things.
And it's not an excavator, because it's too
No, it
consistent.
sounds like a generator or a drill or something.
It's awful. It's
kind of awful.
Really just one of those noises that you would...
Why does the train only honk from far away? And it's a new train driver. Have you noticed? We didn't notice the train last week because it honked from far away, and then it came by us silently.
Really?
It's doing that again.
No.
Yeah.
You sure it's not just covered up by this other sound?
Where's the train? It already went by, that's where. Yeah.
The world has
stopped speaking to you.
You know what?
What? The world is
changing.
Gone upside down.
If the world changes this much again, I might not recognize it. And that would be a problem, because where would I live if I couldn't live in a world that I recognized anymore? It would be I would wander aimlessly just...
We're off. Now we're off topic, though.
Oh.
Because your car has to get a new transmission.
It's way past time for a song.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the motor's off. It's a sign from heaven above.
I feel so much better now.
And now we're going to play music, and we won't even...
Yeah,
it won't even matter.
Okay, we can relax. Okay, so this is a song. I think it might be Rick Sabalos, but let me see what I got here.
Well, I have my socks on inside out.
That's nice. All right, here we go.
You know why? It's because I wore them yesterday, and I pulled them off, and they went inside out, and then I just put them on again today. That's gross. I shouldn't do that.
Well,
all right.
You can meditate on your sins.
Play your song.
It ended on a drum beat, but you didn't hear because you don't have your headphones on. Emily's busy texting somebody or doing something more important than being on the radio.
No.
She's actually
I did it. I was doing an errand, sort of.
She was doing me a favor, so I'm just being snarky, which is kind of fun, but I didn't mean it. I don't mean it.
I got it.
I don't know if people understand that when I'm snarky to you, I don't really mean it. It's just
they
fun.
know.
It's just kind of fun. It's fun to do it.
Wait, I just have to, in case he's confused as to why I'm emailing him this, I'm going to say that you said so.
Yeah, that I said so.
Except for I can't actually talk and text at the same time, so I better not. I'll do it later.
Okay, so I did want to talk about, I wanted to celebrate driveways. That was.
Wait, you skipped banjos.
Oh, do I have to do it in order? Do you want to go back to banjos?
No, that's okay. That would be weird.
Okay, let's stay on driveways and we'll go back to banjos.
Okay.
Okay, I want to celebrate driveways. I feel like there's something very, very special about your own driveway. You know, despite the fact that every driveway has its issues, we all love our own driveway. Think about it. You have the best driveway.
I do.
I think it's because it's that last leg before coming home.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, you're not
Ours
there
is nice
yet.
and long, too, so it's safe, so the kids can ride their bikes up and down it. It's like a mile long, so it's
classic.
It's great. And
It's
lined by big old maple trees.
But I think
that are kind of dying, but
even the most humble driveway still elicits that feeling.
Yes.
And you know, when I'm working at home, and I have been working at home a lot because I've been in the studio all week. When I take a break, when I come out to take a break, I like to take a leisurely stroll up the driveway. And the coolest thing about it is that there is a destination at the end called the mailbox.
Woo! But you have a post office box, really.
That's
all
right.
that goes in your mailbox is zucchini and junk mail.
Yeah, but you just need the flimsiest excuse to take that walk out to the mailbox, regardless of what's in it.
You should get a cool mailbox, like, you know, those big mouth bass fish ones or something.
I did have that one.
What?
That one that Michael left with me that I never managed to get set up.
A fish one?
It had a painting of fish on it.
Oh, I was talking about the one where you actually reach into the fish's mouth to get your mail out. They have another one that's a cow around backwards, and you open up, like, the handle is its tail, so you reach into its butt. That's a little more Vermont-y, but
yeah, no.
maybe not really your style.
It's not really my style.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, back to this thing about the driveway.
Yeah.
Another thing is that there's focal points along the driveway that you just enjoy revisiting because we're very simple-minded beings. Humans are very simple-minded. We like repetition. So you walk down that driveway and, you know, you see the lawnmower in the shed, right? And you might wander in there to take a gander at the lawnmower just because it makes you feel good.
Yes.
And then you keep going, and then you look over into the woods and you see that old motorcycle that's been there for 20 years. And it just kind of lifts your heart about things being normal, things being right with the world, because the lawnmower is there, the motorcycle is there, maybe the new magnolia tree that you planted 2 years ago, you can go visit that and see how that's doing and say hi to it and touch it and have a relationship with it. And all this can occur in that 50-yard driveway. All of that stuff is happening. It's like a huge, huge, like multi-dimensional experience.
Yes, it is, Kristina.
Thank you.
You're so zen about your driveway. Wow.
I just think that because my life is so, I don't know, I don't travel much.
When I go down my driveway, I look with sort of trepidation at the giant skunk hole in the stone wall, where occasionally the dog will be over there digging, and we've had some bad times with the skunk hole.
Sure.
And then I check. We go past a little gate. I make sure the gate is not open, because it's often open, because we drive into that field off the driveway quite often. And if it is open and we've forgotten to shut it, creatures wander out and take their own little gander around. And then I check. There's an old cellar hole down a little further that was Civil War generals, and it's quite famous. It's on the historic register or whatever. So I look at that because there's a big butternut tree, huge one that grows right up in the middle of the cellar hole, which is kind of neat. It shows you how old the place is, because the butternut itself is enormous and it grows right in the middle of the cellar. And then I get to the bottom and I check on our farm sign, which I didn't finish polyurethaning it, so there's one spot that's like fading, and I try to just check the fade.
Great.
And then I decide I'm not going to do anything about it anyway, and I go back up the driveway.
Yeah, but it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what else I do is I go barefoot. So every time I go out, there are these little tiny gravelly pieces that are a little bit, in the beginning of the summer, they hurt your feet. But by midsummer, you should be toughened up. And so that feels good to just be walking down that driveway in the summer with the tough feet.
Tough feet.
It's a touchstone to the year. Like, yeah.
This is my least barefoot year. I don't know why. I hardly have been, which is silly because our lawns have never been nicer with all the, wedding business happening in our house. So I keep everything very golf course mode, but I just haven't done a lot of barefootness.
Huh.
I don't like the feeling when your feet get kind of wet in the grass.
Yeah.
And then you walk in the dusty driveway and then the dust clings to them. And
then you walk it in the house, track it into the house.
Yeah.
I have my rubber boots.
And they get dry. I don't like the feeling of when my feet get, like the moisture gets pulled out of my feet by the dustiness.
Yeah. You have to make that assessment at the front door, like what you're going to do.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if you've ever picked potatoes, but they suck the moisture out of your hands, and your hands are just, they feel awful after you've touched a dusty, dry potato.
No, I haven't done it enough to know that. I'm not much of a vegetable gardener.
No.
You know, I kind of missed that.
We don't have any potatoes either, but
yeah.
As a child, I remember that feeling. I don't like potato hands. Anyhow, what?
Great photographs at that last wedding at your house.
Thank you. Myra helped me. And truthfully, Myra did all the editing herself because my computer is literally dying. So I just sent all the memory cards home with Myra because she's got plenty of room on her computer and her Photoshop program is up to date. So she did a fabulous job editing them. And with two of us there, it was so much more relaxing.
Oh, God, yeah.
Photographing a wedding that I'm already hosting in our venue was kind of a stretch. Like I thought, oh, it's no big deal. I know where all the good spots are. I've done this for so long. It's no problem. I can still run this wedding and photograph it. But in actuality, that was very difficult. So it was nice to have Myra to be like, you cover this while I go get some more toilet paper for the porta potties. So that was good.
I have to say, I think it's a good team.
It is.
Because you have a slightly... Sometimes
we are cranky at each other, but we do a pretty good job of photographing things together.
Yeah, I think you're a good team because it does lighten your load a little bit. You're doing so much. You don't want to do too much and just get so stressed out.
So helpful.
Because you'll burn out on this business.
I burned out on wedding photography years ago, and I just said, all right, I'll only do it now. Maybe here at our own venue because it makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't I? But
you could also burn out on having an event venue. So if you give yourself...
But it's always different, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always have to be weddings. I mean, people can have any kind of event there. So I feel like it would be... I'm not bored with it yet, but it's only been a couple years.
Like if somebody could have a bossa nova night.
That would be cool.
Why not?
Bossa nova. I love that word.
Yeah, because your barn is so great for dancing.
It is
It's a dance barn. You remember that dance barn? There used to be a dance barn up in Washington, Vermont that was famous.
There used to be in Tunbridge on the fairgrounds a big dance barn called Dreamland. I always wanted to recreate Dreamland.
That is awesome.
It's just like...
That's the old days, Emily. That's
when they had dances, real dances.
People had fun.
And the girls dressed up and put on their little red lipstick, and the soldiers were home or something on leave, and they would go to Dreamland and be engaged after meeting each other twice and all these ridiculous things that happened back then, but worked. It's so weird.
And you would wander outside and the dance would be going and the moon would be
just
out.
Seems starry and moony.
You could hear the cows mooing.
I wonder if it would be awful to rename my barn Dreamland. Probably it would be because
maybe a little twist on it somehow.
But I want to think that it's like that.
That's a nice image. It's good to have an image to work with to shape your situation.
Growing up in Tunbridge, ever since I was little, I always just wanted to dance at Dreamland. I just always wanted to, and it doesn't exist anymore. And so it's just
Do you think that motivated you to become a dancer?
No, I was a dancer before that, but I don't know why. If I could go back in time, like my list of things I'd like to do back in the past and the people that I'd like to meet and things like that. But one of them, oddly enough, would just be like, I just love to go dancing at night at Dreamland. I don't know, just the way the really older locals talk about it, it just sounds like this just epic romantic
You know
place.
what I would like to do?
What?
I would like to fall in love at Dreamland.
Lots of people did.
I know, and I want to.
It sounds so sweet.
I want to now.
Yeah. I gotta find some old pictures. I'm sure there's old photographs. But maybe I shouldn't, because maybe the way I have it in my head is not the way it really was. I'd rather it be the way it is in my head.
Except old photos are going to look interesting
Cool.
and,
That's true.
and mysterious, so it'll probably stay right there with your fantasy life.
Yeah.
It's just about time for another song.
Oh my God, and we haven't even talked about banjos yet.
Yeah, we're going to talk about banjos, and I have a personal growth Friday topic, which is it's kind of I don't know, it's a topic that is so commonplace.
Okay.
And yet, deep within the commonplace are the mysteries of life. So I really think that's where we need to go sometimes, is just deeper into the things that are truly commonplace and ordinary.
Okay.
All right.
Play that funky music, and then
I'm going to play the funky music. All right, let's see.
What even is it?
I think it's some blues.
Okay.
Here we go.
I got the magnetism, baby, just for you. I know you got the magnetism for me too. Drawn to each other like a magnet to steel. It's a common connection we're ready to feel. Yes, our poles are in alignment, we're ready to rock. Electrified north and south around the clock. Current is flowing from our heads to our toes. Got to get connected for that current's flow. Got to get connected for the current's flow. Magnetism, baby, just for you. I know you got the magnetism for me too. Yes, we're drawn to each other like a magnet to steel. Common connection, now we're ready to feel. Pressure starting to build. You're the only magnet that gives me a thrill. My needle is twitching towards your magnetic north. Hey, slide up to me, baby. Let's chart our course. Slide up to me, baby. Let's chart our course. Yes, electrons are pulsing right through the air, just like lightning, baby, rolling down the stairs. Don't make no excuses now, man, there's nothing to lose. Gotta pull on my plug, might blow a fuse. Yes, pull on my plug, honey, I might blow a fuse. Got the magnetism, baby, just for you. Know you got that magnetism for me too. Yeah, drawn to each other like a magnet to steel. It's a common connection we're ready to feel. Common connection, now we're ready
I think that was Chris Kleeman and his friend Malcolm, whose last name eludes me always.
But you just said Malcolm.
Yeah, but his last name.
Oh,
I don't know his last name. I always have to look it up, which is fine. But on the podcast, if you come to our podcast on iTunes, 11th Hour Radio,
it'll be there.
All that info is copiously recorded on our podcast and our website and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to our ordinary topic. And the ordinary topic that we're going to talk about is love.
Aw.
Pretty ordinary stuff. Here's a quote we can start with. The quote is, "We believe in love when it works in our favor."
Oh,
What do you
and
think
then
about that?
when it doesn't, we say love stinks. It's just a myth. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and I think we're kind of talking about, well, what I'd like to talk about is falling in love.
Oh, well, you know what? I don't know if that has anything to do with love working in your favor or not, because love and falling in love are very different things, and falling in love isn't actually, in my head, that's not a real thing. It's chemistry, and it's that like beginning bit, which I think you have to have that initial attraction to decide to make a commitment to love somebody. But the falling in love, I think you can talk yourself into falling in love with anybody.
Talk yourself into?
Yep. If it's just right then, you can just be like,
what's it based on?
I don't know. Whatever you need right at that moment.
That implies that there's some
attraction and chemistry and things like that. And like, I do think you have some control.
Okay, I'm just a little confused. But so it's partly chemical. Is it mental then also? It's a mental decision?
I kind of think it is. Because, I think that once you're in a committed relationship, you could, if it's just completely compulsive and you just fall in love at the drop of the hat anywhere, then you wouldn't, how would anybody be together anymore? Because it's not like it just happens once. Everybody knows that, you're attracted and you have chemistry with lots of people, but if you've decided this is the way it's going to go, that's going to frizzle out in a couple of weeks. Like, so that initial zing that I feel about that person, is that worth like taking a risk and losing like love?
Right. But, whether or not love develops with a person that we are in love with is very mysterious. I don't think we're always in control of that. I don't think it's just a matter of, if you work hard enough, you can learn to love.
No, there must be some element of zing there that you're not controlling. But I think that you do have quite a bit of say in it too.
Well, I guess I think that when we make a mistake, like a terrible mistake in terms of who we love, it's not so much as of a mistake as it is a misunderstanding. We thought it was something that it isn't. That's all. And so we thought that our feelings meant that we were on the way to harmony and bliss, and that's just #wrong.
Yeah. Well, I think it's hard to make any of those decisions in the beginning because you're still under the spell of chemistry. I think it takes a while for the chemistry bit to sort of level out, and then you kind of make your real decisions.
Yeah, and I think
depending on who you are, sometimes then it's too late. Like you suddenly have realized, oh, here I am with this person, and now I've got a kid or something that traps you, and it's not. It was a misunderstanding all along. Yeah.
Yes, but I don't, and at the same time, I don't want to really discredit the feelings, those initial feelings which are so powerful.
Yeah.
Because they sort of indicate how deep and complex and mystical human beings are. Really, that we really are. The deal is that I feel like life is a classroom. It's not like a PlayStation,
Right.
Well, it's possibly both. But, it always comes back to the classroom aspect and passing tests.
Yeah.
Karma.
Well, do you think love at first sight is a thing?
I think it's It's karma. It's when you feel in love with somebody, you have some karma with that person, some big karma that needs to be moved forward. And so you know, it causes you, it's just like, I know I've said this before, but it's like babies are cute so that we'll take care of them. And karma creates the situations of attraction so that we'll learn our lessons. And they don't always come out the way that we want them to. We get attracted to somebody and we think that it's going to be all happy, but it's actually we're diving headfirst into a lesson plan, and sometimes it's going to come out with a happy ending and sometimes it's not, but both situations are equally valid and important and enriching.
Yeah. There ought to be... What language is it where there's lots of other words for love? We just have, like, we use the same word for, like, all these different types of love, and none are greater or less than the other, but they're all very different.
I think the Greeks had all these different names for love.
Or is it Eskimos or something?
That's snow. Snow equals love.
Oh, snow, right.
Yeah, you were close.
Love, about the same thing.
Whatever. What's the diff? Big diff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I almost maybe believe in, well, there's something because... Even though I haven't really experienced that too much, I remember a long, long time ago, I was quite young, I was at an air show, of all things, in which I have really no interest. I hate airplanes, and I really don't care about overgrown children flying their model airplanes around. But for some reason, we were there, and there was this guy flying a biplane, a little red toy biplane. Well, it wasn't little. It was. I'm holding my hands about 4 feet apart, so it was big, and it would take off on the field, and lots of people there. And never once did I speak to this person. Didn't care about what he was doing. He wasn't particularly attractive. Didn't catch his eye. Nothing. And all of a sudden, I just said, "I'm so head over heels in love with that man." It was the weirdest thing ever.
Cool.
And I kind of thought about it the rest of my life, even though honestly. He wasn't super attractive. It wasn't like, whoo,
it was just
look at that hunky guy. I wasn't super like, oh, I love model airplanes. So I love this guy. Right. Nothing. And it wasn't like we made this hot eye contact or anything. It just was this overwhelming feeling where I was like, I have a feeling that maybe in another life or something, I was with that guy.
Guess what?
So weird.
I totally believe in that. And you want to know?
Well, I don't really. So it was a weird feeling. It's kind of lingered with me, but...
I have a similar situation that lingered with me.
What?
Equally intense, but it had to do with a dog. I'm not kidding you.
I love dogs too, Kristina, but there's
not.
A line.
No, it's not. I love dogs. It's not. I love dogs. It's not like that. I was working.
I do love dogs, though.
No, I know you do. It's not about that. It's about. I was at a gardening job. I was working in South Woodstock, and I was, going about my business, and suddenly this dog came leaping and bounding across the lawn to me, and I immediately thought, that is my dog. And the dog came up to me with so much love and seemingly recognition, and my heart just opened and filled with this intense feeling that this was my dog. And the encounter lasted about 2 seconds, like 20 seconds, because the owner was out on the road and called the dog back. But I was devastated, because I said that was my dog. That was my dog. And
there's a movie like that, but don't watch it. And I'm not going to watch it either. I think it's called A Dog's Life, where it's a dog that just keeps getting reincarnated and reborn, and it goes through all of its ways that it like saved people and brought people love. And in the end, the little boy who had it in the very beginning when it was like a golden retriever gets it back as an older man, and it's a different kind of dog, but it's like the same dog inside.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I saw the preview, and everyone who's seen it says it's a horrible tearjerker, and I cannot watch movies where dogs die. That's just not...
Animal movies are...
I can't,
Yeah, well, I still think about that dog.
Oh, that's a really sad story.
But
maybe that has more to do with our past lives than it does with love.
Well, in our future lives. Maybe. That dog will be my dog. Because I think if past lives are valid, then future lives are valid as well. So let's go with all of it.
Dogs are the best.
Yeah, they sure are. They're beautiful. Beautiful beings.
They are. Goats are not. But
stop with the goats.
I just still can't get over their eyeballs. They look like marbles.
You're so sheep-centric.
Rolly around marble eyes.
Let's talk about banjos. We only have a minute.
Oh, better get that in quick.
Yeah. Anyway, the world can always use more banjos. That's really all I want to say. Pappy,
You said that last week.
I know, but Pappy came down again this week, so it's 2 weeks in a row.
Is that his real name?
Yeah, Patrick, Pappy.
Pappy is not short for Patrick.
You know I've dated a lot of banjo players, right?
Yeah.
In my life? I
Yeah.
mean, more than per capita, like it's higher than the average, I would say. And horseshoers.
Well, you're kind of in the business where a lot of banjo players are in close contact with you. So maybe that's something to do with it.
Well, but this is dating back to when I was a teenager. It started
weird.
It started back in the 70s.
There's a lot of bumper stickers making sort of jokes about banjos, so maybe you should get some of those.
Thanks for being so nice about it.
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you something that brings me
all right.
joy. I
understand.
I don't want to date banjo players anymore. I just want to be happy about banjos. That's all.
Well, nothing's stopping you there.
Thank you.
Welcome.
As Courtney would say, live it, love it. She said that.
I did. I did hear that. That
Live
was
it,
cute.
love it.
She didn't make that up, though. I heard that other places. I heard that on a bumper sticker.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard of it. What does it mean?
Nothing. There's bumper stickers and little signs that you can buy at Pier 1 that say live, love, laugh.
What does it mean, live it? What is it? Live
Life.
your dream?
Life.
Live it.
It is whatever you want it to be.
Like you're living it, but live it. Right? It's a...
You know what? Don't ask me to just take apart these expressions that we use.
It's just like live what you're already living. I don't get it. But it sounds good.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
All right. Well, if anybody wants to live it, go right ahead. I'm going to try, but I don't know what I'm doing.
The dream. I think it means like something like that.
Well, love it. Love it is easier to understand. Like Lyle, love it.
My parents just went to see him this winter. He's got great hair. I know some people don't like his hair. I personally do like his hair.
Are you saying that because you don't like my hair?
No, I love your hair. But I actually love it when your hair is curly, and you hate it when your hair is curly.
That's because you have straight hair and you want curly hair.
Yeah, and you have curly hair and you want straight hair.
Yeah. So
the trick is that you actually make your hair straight, and I don't make my hair curly because it's impossible. I can't make my hair curly.
Yeah, but I've seen pictures of you with a perm.
I've never had a perm in my life.
When you were a teenager?
No. Maybe
your
it was
hair
curled.
was kind of frizzy out?
Oh, that was after I took it out of cornrows.
Okay, that's what I mean.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to appropriate any other culture. I just thought they were pretty.
I don't think there's anything wrong with cornrows on anybody's head, personally.
I have a little friend who went to a very liberal college, and she's white, and she had cornrows in her hair, and she was very worried about college starting because all of her friends were telling her that she was appropriating.
I think it's more on with the high fashion
black
level.
culture.
That's where it's an issue. No, it's when people are making money off cultural appropriation.
Well, I think it's when people are making fun of things, too. Like, I don't think it's okay to dress up as another race or culture for Halloween, because that's strange. But I don't... If it's something that you're really... Like, imitation is the biggest form of flattery, folks.
It's like folk music. You know, everybody's played it before.
I mean,
it's fine.
I want to be really sensitive about everybody's cultural issues, but I don't think that us enjoying other people's culture is wrong. Sorry, it's time to go. I know.
I know you want to talk about it, and I do too.
I don't. I'm fine.
All right, just stop.
Stop.
Let's talk about the mistake of the wrong soap in the soap dispensers at the state of Vermont.
I can't talk about that anymore.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. All right, thanks. You've been listening to 11th Hour Radio. We've had a really good time.
With Kristina, Stykos, and Emily Howe, because we forgot to introduce ourselves as well as the show.
Yeah. And come to our podcast and you'll hear the whole...
11thhourradio.com.
Yeah. Here's the whole song.
And have an awesome weekend.
Well, Ma told her son that the way of the gun will lead you down a long, wicked road to hell. And you won't get too far if you don't know right from wrong. You can't drink the water when there's poison in a well. But if you start to run, son, don't forget to raise some. Just one thing that you must understand. Well, the road it has swallowed many who have followed, and it ain't afraid to take another man. Rain coming down the mountain, and the steam is starting to rise. And if you plan to stay, you might not see the light of day. When November blows its wicked winds at night. And that's when I started running with the weight of that gun and a mama's words like a bullet in my brain. Well, the road it has swallowed many who have followed, and it ain't afraid to take another man. Now the stars fade at dawn, and I keep on keeping on. I'm trying to outrun both sides of the law. And once I'm out of range, I believe I'll change my name, and I'll settle down and make a brand new start. And I'll stake my claim, and I'll stick it till it stays, with the mama's words like a bullet in my brain. In the road it will swallow many who have followed, ain't afraid to take another man. She said the road it will swallow many who have followed, and it ain't afraid to take another man.